Hi, welcome back to another web development video where I show you how to make modern websites using HTML5, CSS3, and a little bit of JavaScript. In this video, I'm going to take a few minutes to just share with you a project I've been working on. It's called ModSite, and what it is, it stands for Modular Site. And just to give a little background, I've been thinking about how can we take the CSS grid that we're learning and translate that not only into the websites that we've been making, but how can we translate that into maybe even better designs or different types of layouts on the web, something to push web design a little bit farther along than just stacking boxes of content on top of one another. So this site is, the goal is to make the web beautiful by giving you these modular blocks of code that you can simply put into your website. You can also use this site to study, just sort of how I've been doing things or the different types of blocks I've been creating. And I think that it will help to quickly iterate and to make new articles, new pages, new templates based on CSS grid, and allowing you to create some just sort of new kind of funky, more magazine style layouts. So we have our HTML container here, we have our CSS container here, and then we have a few different categories, I guess you would say, of layouts. So one is text and image layouts together, one is text only layouts, and then one is image only layouts. And then you can use these and combine them together to create more sophisticated designs. So I'll show you how that works. I have just a code pen that's set up here, and what I'm going to do is when you click on these icons, the thumbnails, then the code comes up to the right. So the HTML and the CSS for this particular module with the big image to the left and the text to the right, that HTML is here with the classes, and then this CSS is here, and these two pieces of information go together. If you want to get a preview of what each of these blocks is going to look like, you can just click that and you'll see an actual preview with real content. This is actually just the content here. It's just in a web page. So, so what we're going to do is all you have to do is click inside this code box once, and then it highlights everything, and then you just copy it, come over to your HTML, you paste, and then now you can see that our HTML is in the page, and now we need to connect our CSS to it. So we copy that CSS, come into our CSS panel, paste it, and now you can see that everything is taking the same shape as the demo that I just showed you, right? So now we have this section. This could be an article just in and of itself, but I want to add another section to the bottom. I want to add one of these image sections. So we're looking at this image module here, and it has one large image over two smaller, or like a split screen. So when I click on that, then I see that I get my HTML here. I'm going to copy that and come into my HTML of my website, and just literally go down to the next line, create a new section, and as I get toward the bottom of that first section, then I can see that my images are being pulled in. Okay, they don't have any CSS applied to them, so we're going to do that. So I just copy and come into my CSS. Now this image here is that's a redundant thing, so if you only want to use one of these sections, you'll need to keep that in, but if you're using multiple sections with images, you'll probably just want to take that out. It's just redundant because it already exists up here. You can see that it's already there. But when we look at our site now, we scroll down to this bottom section, and we see that it's now taking our styles, right? They used to be stacked and they weren't responsive images, but now they're taking our styles that we gave them, and they're responsive to the page or to the viewport. So you can see that we have a nice layout, a lot better than maybe just stacking things on top of one another. And we've done it literally in less than a minute. And then these are going to take on the styling of whatever fonts that you have loaded into your website already. These are modular blocks. Excuse me. These are modular blocks, and so each of the blocks is self-contained. So all of the CSS is self-contained for each of these blocks. So you can remove them or take them out. You can move them around. You can also add more blocks in other pages or other parts of the website or other parts of the page, and then they'll just take on those styles. And if you remove a block or you remove the styles, it won't affect the rest of your website. So I try to create it as modularly as I can, which may not make for the most amazing CSS experience when you come back, but it is a way to quickly scale a really nice looking website. So let's look at it in on a relatively large monitor here. That's not a very good image, but okay, yeah, it's better. So as we scroll down and we get toward the end of this section, we start to see our bottom section. So you can see that on a big screen with really nice images, you're gonna really make an impression with this sort of layout. And this is not normal. You know, this is not what people are normally building out there necessarily these days. And so in that way, it's a little bit extra, a little bit more beautiful than what we're tend to create on a daily basis. So that is it. It's called ModSite. It's at highwaywebconsulting.com/ModSite, MODSITE. And again, you just click on these little thumbnails and you get the code for the HTML and the CSS. You can learn a little bit more, or if you forget how to use it, you can look at the About section. If you'd like to make a donation, that would be great. You just click on the little PayPal button and you can shoot me some money. That would be awesome. If you found it to be helpful, or if you found it to save you some time, maybe it's worth $1 or $5 or $10 or whatever you'd like to donate. All the donations are very appreciated because I'm trying to add to this and maintain it. If you want to email me, you can email me at brian@highwaywebconsulting.com. And then if you have any ideas for layouts, or if you find a bug, or you just want to say hello, feel free to email me. You can also connect with me on Twitter at Brian Hafferkamp. And I'm going to be adding new sections and sort of bringing the sections together a little bit better. Those two sections I used today work really well together because they're both full screen and they're sort of meant to be that way. But you can also put a maximum width on them. That's not a big deal. But some of these have maximum widths right in, like as a part of what they're doing. So I'm just going to sort of try to bring all those things back together a little bit so that if you want to put a max width on it, you can. Otherwise, it's going to be mostly full screen. All right, so this is ModSite and highwaywebconsulting.com/ModSite. And check it out, use it, try it in a project, see if it's something that's easy to work with, or maybe there's a suggestion that you have that it seems like a good idea, but if we did this, maybe it would be a little bit easier to work with. If you have any comments, please leave them down in the comment section below. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. We're up almost 5,000 subscribers now, so I'm pleased with the way that the channel is growing, and I put out maybe 1 or 2 videos a week usually. Last week was a little bit different with the holiday, but I like to do tutorials, especially on Grid and Flexbox, and answering people's questions that they have about web design and web development. All right, well that's it for this. highwaywebconsulting.com/ModSite, and check it out, use it. Let me know if you make something, share it with me. And I'd love to see what you're doing. All right. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.